Welcome to episode 76 of the Face of the Future podcast. It's your boy Millz.
It's your boy Shann.
It's your boy Moose Blaze.
Shit, we had to set this podcast off right.
What? Moose Blaze.
Moose Blaze.
What the fuck is that?
That was you on the beat.
Yeah,
That was you on the beat.
You know, man. You know.
DJ Moose
Damn,
Blaze.
that shit is crazy,
That track is top 5 Drake songs ever created.
Facts.
You can
that
argue.
shit goes hard.
You can argue with whoever. I don't care what nobody says. All the Time Step Records is not touching that track right there.
That's one of them ones.
That's one of them ones. I had to bring it back, bro. That shit was crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be one of the best Drake. Like that had to be one of the best Drake verses. Like.
He did his thing
Ever,
on that.
He slid on that joint.
Yeah, he did.
Without a doubt.
Like Lord knows still hit, bro. And oh my God, son.
Look at it. That was on the Take Care album.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, that shit. 11 years later.
That's what I'm trying to say. That joint
11
crazy,
years
bro.
later, that shit sliding still.
Just Blaze did his thing on that beat. Son.
Yeah, no, he definitely did.
Oh my gosh, son. That
shit-
nigga snapped.
That song gonna ring forever, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Next part, I'm gonna have to just bring us back to 2011 because that was a time when the styles where a lot of records came out. That, you know what I'm saying? Soundtracks of when we was in high school and shit, bro. That was a vibe.
Yeah, that was.
And on top of that, 33 Lane come out of retirement, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
G,
man.
come back, bro.
Bro, you playing.
We've been telling you for a
Yeah,
long
you
time,
playing, my
bro.
nigga.
Since season 1 of the pod.
Let me get into my music nerd bag. Like, nigga, you understand? Like, if you watching this, you understand you a storyteller. You're a storyteller, my nigga. Like, you understand, and I'm like, do you understand how much bread you get as a storyteller? Like, not a nigga, just not a driller, not a nigga that do melody rap, but just a storyteller. And just imagine you just being who you is, seeing your experiences. You write down the shit that you write on a pen and put it on a beat. You will make mad bread, bro. I guarantee you can get a record with Atlantic. You can get a deal with Atlantic.
Yeah,
You
G
could deal with
got them
anybody.
bars,
That-
bro. He got bars.
He painted a picture on that joint. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. You paint pictures, my
Like he
nigga.
was
You an
walking around
artist.
Chester.
it's like it felt like you was in it. With
Yeah.
Y'all heard that record before? I played that joint before.
Mm-mm.
Nah.
Yeah, bro. That's off of Sin City 2. I think it's only on Spinrilla right now, but Sin City 1 is on SoundCloud. Sin City 2, like I said, Spinrilla. Go tap into his old music, you know what I'm saying? If y'all listen to it, whoever around him, his camp, whatever, people that know his old music, come on, Lamb, let's go. It's go time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I gotta show love to the homies, bro, when it's time to show love to the homies. What y'all been up to, man? What y'all been up to?
It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's Christmas time, holiday
it's Christmas
season.
week. You know what I mean? It's Christmas week, so
You excited? Like, what y'all ask for on your Christmas list? I know as you get older, like the lists change and things of that nature.
what did I ask for? I don't think I asked for anything besides a new pair of clippers.
Like, you talking about to cut your hair?
Yeah, I ask for a new pair every year.
That's such an old man gift.
I know,
like.
right? but it's a gift that I use though.
Yeah, yeah,
True,
yeah,
true.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
true,
So
true,
that's
true.
why, like, and I think like a gift card to the official store so I could buy official gear. Like, I didn't ask for nothing like great. Oh, I asked for PS5, but
Facts.
that's like
I got something for
that's
y'all.
an outlier.
I got something for y'all that y'all gonna like.
You got us a gift?
You gonna like it when they come in. That's all I'm gonna say. Just
boy.
wait on it.
We
Just
got
wait on
gift.
Just wait on it. Just wait on
I
it.
didn't know we was getting down like that.
Nah, you don't have to. It's something for the time that we put in. Y'all gonna like it when they come in, bro.
that's what's
Appreciate
up.
it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That joint gonna be fire. But nah, like, yeah, as you get older, you know what I'm saying, you just get stuff that you use every day. Like, I asked for a men's grooming kit, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Keep my upkeep, that type of thing. Some stuff for the pod, some equipment stuff. Nothing too crazy, bro. I mean, I think ever since maybe like junior, senior year of like high school, there was nothing I really had other than like some video games. But I don't even play video games like that no more, bro. I used to, but it's just like all the time. But I think as things start to like even out a little bit, I'm gonna sit down and play a little more video games because I feel like that's just like something that eases my mind, takes me off, like takes the stress away. things
Yeah,
of that nature.
definitely. I do that every day when I go home from work at nighttime.
You always been a gamer though.
Just to like clear my mind before I go to bed of anything else. Like I can get lost in a football game and be in that for an hour and a half before I gotta go up and go to sleep and then deal with life again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and personally, as far as gifts, like I'd rather buy my girl gifts, bro.
Facts.
And keep it that way, and see her happy about getting some shit to myself.
I agree. What about you, Moose? You got anything specific that you looking forward to, potentially that you asked for, that you?
Nah, I mean, all my gifts came true, man. All my friends is happy. That's like on a very serious note. I really didn't have anything I wanted. Like all my friends and my family is happy. That's really all that matters to me. So I'm not even saying that for that. Like that's all I've been thinking about. Like as long as my friends are happy, I help my friends out. That's all that matters to me.
That's good, bro. And I think, like you said, to piggyback off of what you said, Shann, like, you get a bigger thrill out of not, like, receiving stuff from it, but more so, like, giving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You see the joy on somebody else's face, and that's better than you getting something yourself. You know what I mean? That's how I feel, at least.
And then even on top of that, bro, it's just, like, just being around your family.
Yeah, the vibes, the good vibes. You know what I mean? We'll go down to my parents' house next week. The whole family, all my sisters will be there with the significant others and me and Kaylee. So that'll be a good time, too.
So let me ask you guys this: since like we're talking about having significant others, things of that nature. Like as we get older, is it a weird feeling like seeing like your siblings and you like have like that significant other now, like seeing like everybody's family grow and things of that nature? Or is just like cool to see that type of thing?
It's cool to see. It's like it just lets us know where we're all at, and like we're all grown now.
Yeah,
everyone's at that age where like we've all been with our significant other for a number of years. People are starting to take the next steps and about to start their own families, go on and prosper, do other shit. So it's cool. I mean, it's crazy for my parents to see because they be looking at us like, damn, like y'all niggas is adults.
Facts.
Like,
facts.
Like
facts.
y'all are not little babies anymore that we got to take care of. Like y'all are full grown like men and women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all got your own cribs. Y'all got careers.
Yup.
Y'all are trying to start your own families. So I mean, it's be surreal for them to see that when they sit back and be like, damn. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And then like even to add to that, it's like you know what I'm saying, Chase got a daughter now, so it's like it's all about her now. Like my grandmother says, it's not about y'all no more, it's about my granddaughter. Like and all the gifts, everybody, even like my girl, me, my sister, all River's like aunts and aunts stuff. It's like everybody's just worried about getting her stuff, things of that nature. So it's like the vibe is changed in a good way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for it.
For my parents, it's like they'd be like, where is the time gone?
Yeah.
Like my older sister is 32 years old. It's like where the last 32 years is like,
snap
it's like, yo, I'm like, I remember when you was born in 88. You know what I'm saying? Now here we are in 2021 going on 22. It's like, damn, like
time flies.
It flies, but there's so much stuff that happens throughout life throughout that time that like, you really can just forget about shit until you sit down. And like you look up and your kids is in their late 20s, about to be in their 30s.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Dang.
I feel the same way for us too. Like, damn, I remember like back in the day when I was like 11, 12, like Christmas was a day. Like, motherfuckers was getting up at 5 a.m. to go downstairs and see what was under the tree.
Lauren, if you listen, Lauren's my sister. If you listen, I'll never forgive you for showing me where mom and dad hid the prisons.
Oh man, she found the stash.
She found the stash. She said, "Miles, come look." Not that I don't care really anymore, but that she's like, "Miles, come look. I know where the presents are." I said, "What you mean?" Because that's the time I still believe in Santa Claus.
Oh, damn!
But I'm saying, I think we all did that. I think I did that to Chase too. You know what I'm saying? Like I found it, so now you got it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Like,
nah, for real.
I think that's just a sibling type tradition, John. Like once the old head finds out where, all right, I'm gonna show you like where this stuff is. It's like you try to find out what gifts what you got, that type of thing. But it's all good vibes. You feel me? It's all good vibes.
That was an event. Stay up the whole night before.
Leave the cookies out. Cookies and milk.
We used to. I mean, it got to the point where, like, once we knew Santa wasn't real anymore, like, we used to hear our parents downstairs, like, setting it up. And then as soon as they came upstairs, we went downstairs. Yeah, I remember those days, man. Waking up early, it was still dark outside.
Dang. You got me reminiscing. It's like you want to go back in time a little bit.
Yeah. You take those moments for granted, though.
You definitely do. Because, like, even like, we got to a stage, like, I want to be an adult now. I want to do this. It's like, nah, bro. You wish you could go back in time. And we used to hear, like, we hear old heads or even our parents, like, say things like that. Like, don't rush it. Because when you get to that point, you're going to miss those times and those feelings, bro. But it's just like,
and things change. Like, when I was a kid growing up, our entire family would gather on the holidays. And now, years and years later, where a lot of those older family members have passed on. Yeah. Like, I don't even remember the last time our entire family was together like that.
I don't either.
So, you really, really miss those times where, like, that was the time when you saw all your cousins. Yeah. When you saw all your aunts and uncles. Damn. When you saw your mom's aunts and uncles. You know what I mean? All the old heads, the elders. Everybody was together. And now it's like, I don't think that's happening in a number of years, that I've seen everybody. So you definitely miss those good times.
Man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I had a deep thought. Let me ask y'all this, though. I got two questions. What's your favorite, what do you think the best Christmas movie is? Like, your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie?
Like when ABC Family came, back in the day, ABC's 25 Days of Christmas, what movie was you looking forward to watching?
I tell you what I'm looking forward to watching now, too, even more than ever. The Grinch with Jim Carrey. right?
Yeah.
Because watching it as a kid is one thing, but to now watch it as an adult,
You get it.
that shit is not a kid's movie, bro,
Nah,
at
nah.
all. That movie is fucking hilarious, bro. That's one of the funniest movies I ever seen. So The Grinch is probably one of my favorite Christmas movies. I just think that's just an awesome movie. It's
one of the all-time.
yeah, it's an all-timer. You know, enough said.
Y'all get why the Grinch was a grumpy old person though, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get it.
Yeah,
You
that
get it.
sound like me now. Sound like me.
You the Grinch?
Yeah.
Moose the Grinch?
Nah, it's like
My
that.
boy went from Moose Blaze to Moose the Grinch.
Nah.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
What's that movie called? I'm such an old ass man. A Christmas Carol.
This man said a Christmas Carol.
The gross of Christmas, past, present, and future. I'm an old ass man.
What's yours, Mel?
I'm
Home
a,
Alone.
Home Alone. Yeah, Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Wait,
Home
you
Alone
think the first one was the best? The second one to me was the best one.
It was.
Yeah, was that the one who was in New York?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
was
shit
the
makes
best
me
one.
so mad though.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like when you really think about it,
Like,
like,
how did that shit happen, bro?
bro, like how do you forget your kid? And not for nothing, if this was a black family, like knife is getting called, but you know.
Facts. Nah, I mean, like,
Like-
y'all niggas left him home the first time. Then the second time, he was in a whole nother. Like, y'all ain't even know. Like,
CPS is getting called at
how
that
are y'all
point,
not
bro.
paying attention? Like, how are y'all on a flight to Miami and you don't notice that your other son is there?
Right? You don't even
Like,
double check.
like how?
How are y'all always late to the airport? Like
Right.
y'all didn't learn y'all
I
lesson
mean, they
the
had a
first
bunch
time.
of kids.
Not only
though.
that, but why are y'all living in hella people in the crib? The grandparents, the
Yeah.
aunts, the uncles.
They
I
had-
ain't with
they
that.
Had like 7 kids.
Yeah. You don't do roll call in the car?
Yeah,
Like, what
Such and
you
such
don't do
year,
roll
such
call in
and
the car?
But in
Like,
the second one, he got on the wrong airplane though.
Yeah.
That wasn't the parents' fault. The first.
No, but what I'm saying is he was on the wrong airplane, yeah, but how did y'all not notice that your son wasn't on the plane with y'all?
And
How
then
did
the-
y'all-
And then the flight attendants too. Like, how do you just let a random?
That's
kid
what I'm
get in
saying,
the
bro.
flight
These
and
kids,
not-
yo, bro.
And not gonna say, yo, is this your son?
Right.
Like, like they just let Bull get on the plane. Like nowadays, you
Right.
got the ticket.
Careless.
Yeah, bro.
Careless.
My man went
Reckless.
to New York, met the pigeon lady, all that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
That joint had me weak.
Trump was in that movie too.
He was.
Yeah, I forgot. He was in that movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nah, are you saying like
Mhm.
Home Alone was one of the
We
movies
would
though.
put Trump in that movie.
Just one of them ones.
White privilege.
And then
What?
how you get to that?
Yeah, like I was hoping you
Because-
wanted to say something like that, but how?
I did
Because
go
how
get
you
that.
gonna let a whole little 7-year ass boy on another plane? Yo, like really think about this, man. He got to go through clearance.
True.
They had his
Yeah.
boarding pass,
And
all
he,
that.
and he booked the telly.
He booked it.
By
How
himself.
Yo,
White privilege.
he booked the telly at where was it at? The fucking Plaza Hotel, bruh.
How do you get a telly in the center?
With that nutty ass voice recording shit that he had, bro.
Yo,
Right by
He
Central Park?
really finessed, like had
Let
a
a
whole
little
credit
ass-
card, a major credit card, and
let a
swiped it.
7-year-old black boy do that, bro. They would have sent that boy to the airport
Nah,
police
facts.
so fast.
They said, all right, just have your dad, come back down here and shop. I'm like, how did this nigga go to? They get this nigga a suite.
Yeah, he got the big
They
joint.
gave him a
room
presidential.
service, room service, everything. They didn't even double check or nothing like that. That's crazy. Now I think about it, that movie is kind of crazy, bro. That movie is kind of crazy.
It's nuts.
I ain't got nothing to say about that.
No, but that's a classic though.
It is
a
though.
classic.
It's a good movie, but
This movie's also hilarious, bro. A lot of those movies that from when we were kids now, I see really weren't made for kids.
They weren't, bro.
The movies were made for adults. You go back and watch them now, them shits are hilarious.
you know that's the beauty about all them old school movies because it's like it's one of those things where they actually gave everybody a piece of everything. Where it's like
They
you had the classic kid stuff that's funny where you see the adults getting hurt or the kids being crafty. You have the adult suggestive themes and stuff like that where it's like, this is cool. That's why I guess as an older age we fuck with SpongeBob so much because when you really go back and watch that shit, SpongeBob is not for kids.
We
son.
should not been watching
all of those SpongeBob, Dexter's Laboratory, I mean Powerpuff Girls, all those shows.
All of them.
To that point, there's also some of those early 2000s movies that I think about all the time are also like that. Like Shrek is fucking. Go back and watch Shrek as an adult. That movie is fucking hilarious, bro.
Nah, Shrek is
Again,
funny.
not a
Shrek is
kid's
funny.
movie.
Not a kid's movie.
That movie is for adults.
But that's the beauty of it. It's
That
like,
is the beauty of it, bro.
'cause, like, now
And
you go
another
back
thing
and
that
watch
you
that,
notice,
damn.
they can never drop a movie like that today, bro.
Oh, nah.
With the shit that they were saying in that shit,
Nah.
they can never drop a movie like that today.
People be
Nope.
offensive. Or we had to be rated
fake
Had to
cancel
be rated
culture.
R.
TVMA, yeah, R, TVMA, something like that.
Next thing you know, you got a settlement or whatever.
But speaking of SpongeBob, bro, how did they get that approved to be on not even the late night Nick and Night or whatever it is, but it was on regular TV.
That was when niggas
bro.
came home from school.
That's what I'm trying to say. Especially stuff that Patrick was doing and SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs.
Probably because they thought it was going to go over our heads, which it did a lot as kids.
It did. And on top of that, it's, once again, you lived in a less sensitive generation.
True.
Yeah, we wasn't thinking about it in any kind of crazy kind of manner. You know, that shit was just funny to us. SpongeBob was a nutty bull.
Yeah.
Patrick was just a nutty bull, you know?
Did you ever watch the show with Bam Margera and Steve-O?
Robin Big?
Wild Boys?
No. Jackass.
Yes, of course.
That was, I think that's the name of the show. Was
Of course.
Yeah.
It was.
I actually didn't watch
It was Jack, and there was another one too with
Pretty sure it's called Jackass.
What was the other bull? Johnny Knoxville. They
Yeah,
all
that's-
had
that's
their own
what-
spin-offs. Yeah.
But that I used to watch that.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was nuts.
Me and my boy, shout out my boy Andre Macaron, super smart technology boy. But he was my guy back when we was in like 6th grade. Recess, every time we would watch like the pranks they would do, when recess came, we would reenact them.
For real?
On some nutty, like me and my boy Andre would come to school with like some itching powder, bro, and we would dump it in somebody's shirt. Bro.
Andre was a funny dude, bro.
That was my guy. That was my guy, bro.
I had class with Andre, right? I forget what the name of the class was, but we used to watch videos in the class all the time. Andre had a universal remote.
Yeah, he
He
would change.
used to bring to school.
Bro,
He would
for real?
turn the TV off. He
Oh,
would
that nigga
rewind it,
savage.
and like the teacher could not figure out
what it
was
was.
going on.
Like Bull was literally ahead of it. All the tech stuff you
Yeah.
see now, he was doing that joint when we was young boys. Like universal remotes. I remember I went to his crib. He used to put stink bombs in his brother's like vent and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Bull was just trying stuff out. But that was good times, bro. When we was on some other shit. But
And we just walked down memory lane just now with Shrek and shit.
facts. But the greatest series of all time that comes on every time, 25 Days of Christmas, Harry Potter, bro. I don't know why it comes on during Christmas, but why you make that face?
I've never watched any of the Harry Potter movies.
What?
I watched
any
like
of
half.
them?
I watched like half of the first one.
No, I haven't seen all of them. Right, I haven't seen
Y'all
every
are
single
killing
one.
me.
I haven't
like
seen
a
every
quarter.
single one,
I read like a quarter of the first
but
book.
I've seen like the first 4 or 5 of them. Right, when I was living in Philly at the time, when the first 2 of them dropped, we used to take school trips and walk to the movie theater from elementary
Yeah, it
school
was an event.
to the theater. Yeah, bro, it was an event. The whole school used to walk to the movie theater and watch the Harry Potter, bro, for the first 2. I was in like the first 4, but I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah,
But that's a great series.
great series.
No, it is. It is. Don't get me wrong.
It's
It is.
a dope
I just,
series. I don't think.
J.K. Rowling did her Dougie.
I don't know what. I don't think there's a better. In my opinion, there's a better movie series just based off of like.
Well, people say like Lord of the Rings is another good one.
I watched Lord of the Rings. Them movies are just. I don't know.
It's just long.
It's just long, bro.
They're all long. So
my
is
older
Potter.
brother, he loves Lord of the Rings. That was his. He said, "Here, Lord of the Rings is better." But I just think like them Jones was like 4 hours. Seemed like
Yeah.
Bro,
no, they're long
what was the
movies.
new one that came out a couple years ago?
with the Hobbits.
Bro, I fell asleep in that shit, bro. Like my boys went to go see it, bro. I was knocked. I'm like, bro, I can't watch this movie. Like, I can't. It's just long.
Harry Potter probably is the greatest series of movies
Yeah.
of all time.
It's the closest thing that you'll see that has the book and the movie 100% accurate. Like,
Yeah.
do I think that it's the best book series? It's definitely one of the best. I personally prefer Percy Jackson the Olympians.
Oh yeah, Percy Jackson was like
That shit was like that. But the movies, I was so pissed. I was so pissed, bro. I was so pissed.
I think my favorite like book series that I like read was Series of Unfortunate.
yeah,
Events.
that was my favorite.
That was my
ever
joint.
growing up.
That joint was like that. And like,
Count Olaf, but the movies and the shows wasn't.
it was boof.
Yeah, they weren't as
Yeah.
good.
Count Olaf.
Yeah,
that was
Count
Jim Carrey
Olaf.
too, huh?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Jim Carrey in the movie, and Jennifer Lawrence
Yeah.
was in there too.
Yeah.
A young Jennifer Lawrence.
Facts. But yeah, but we went down memory lane. Let's jump into some current event news. So to start off, I want to start off with the USA Gymnastics Team. They got a $380 million settlement. And those that you don't know, that whole case has been going on for it's been a couple years now, huh? That's been going on. Like Simone Biles was like obviously the face of it because she's the biggest name, but it's a whole I don't even know where to use it, but it's a whole thing that happened within the USA team with Larry Nassar. I think
Larry Nassar and Michigan State University.
Michigan State University too as well.
Yeah, they gave him $500 million already,
Oh, I didn't see that.
and that's why D'Antoni left.
Oh.
That's how Mel Tucker came on board to be on Michigan State.
Wait, explain that part because I'm not.
Yeah, bro.
Well,
So Larry Nassar was also the trainer at Michigan State.
So I didn't read that.
They had a
part.
case against Michigan State too, but they settled that shit
Quick.
quietly.
Oh, that's probably
$500 million.
Was that before or after
That's why
the
D'Antoni
USA
was-
thing?
It was all going on at the same time.
probably.
Oh,
They
okay,
settled
okay,
theirs
okay,
first.
okay,
Like,
okay.
so they settled. There was a time where what's the basketball coach's name? At Michigan State. Tom Izzo.
Izzo.
He was under like investigation for it. Mike D'Antoni resigned. You know, and they've been a successful program for a long time.
Yeah.
He resigned when this shit was going down. So you got to imagine there's some other underlying shit that's going on there if you read in between the lines. But they settled for $500 million.
What do you think D'Antoni did? Do you think he participated?
I think that there probably could have been
knowledge.
No, knowledge as well as football players that were harassed, as well as basketball players that could have been harassed, and Izzo and D'Antoni might have knew about it. And, you know, that's why he might have just been like, all right, I'm going to resign. They gave him $500 million. Their president resigned. Their school president resigned. Izzo was under investigation.
Quietly, then.
Very quietly. And I thought Izzo was going to step down, too, but, you know, he
got too much power.
So he navigated his. But D'Antoni, I mean, he's been a good coach, but, you know, he was just, you know, a pawn.
Yeah.
So he resigned. They set up that for $500 million. So they got $500 million from Michigan State, and then they got another $300 million that they just recently got. So a total of almost $1 billion in settlement money.
But then when you really think about it and you divide it towards out everybody, it's not like
it's a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, right?
Take back
but the thing is that it's like 700 people involved in this lawsuit,
which is absurd.
That's why, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like $700 million, about $800 million or so between like 700 people, you know, and that's just the ones that have came out.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the fact that, you know, the numbers on this are staggering as far as people that were like assaulted. That's the staggering part. The number of men and women that were, I mean, mostly women, but the number of women that were sexually assaulted by these guys, and the fact that Michigan State and the U.S. Olympian, like the committee was covering it up and knew about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just
it's not surprising.
It's just a weird story. It's weird all the way around. Like, how do y'all let something like this go under wraps for so long?
I mean, to take it from a less serious note, like, you gotta look at this, like, all these international organizations, like when you look at FIFA, like all that stuff that goes on, when you hear like big players, all that tax evasion shit, FIFA knows.
Yeah.
FIFA sets these shit up, so that's how certain things happen, so certain people come into play. So it's like now when you come into like an organization like the USA Olympic Team, other organizations, all that stuff is a setup, bro. Like you gotta really think about it. Like these people know what the fuck they doing, and that's why it's like you really always have to hold these people accountable. The issue is when you go into court, it's like yeah, you're accountable for this, but it's like a lot of times you have to show people that you're not really accountable for the shit. But we all know, taking court out of it, like there's no way that you don't know shit, and there's no way that you don't have common sense to do things. And it's like there's like you said, there's like 700 people that we know of. There's probably like there's definitely double that amount of people that have probably been either harassed, probably touched, all that stuff. And it's like we have to understand that y'all all were complicit. There's no way that a total of 1,400 people, because I'm overestimating, over probably like 2,000 people, like 2,000 people get harassed in one way, shape, or another, and nobody knows nothing. You know how many like that? You know how many years of just harassment that is, and nothing is being said. Y'all knew, so you know what I mean. And it's like for them, just even
the same thing with Penn State, bro.
And
that's
what bring up
like you said, Millz. It's like no amount of money is about to bring back any of that shit that happened, because that shit is fucking disgusting, bro. I don't give a shit about none of that shit. Like y'all did some foul shit and y'all were complicit in it, and it serves y'all right. And for me, if y'all in the Olympic Committee, to be honest with you, I would suspend USA Gymnastics Team. I would go as extreme as that.
All the powers that be have been either resigning or losing their jobs. Like I said, D'Antoni resigned. School president at the time resigned. Like whoever was in a position at that point doesn't have their job any longer. But the numbers are staggering. I didn't know you know about that. They said that 500. That was like last year.
No, I just didn't see it. Like I didn't know that was the reason why he resigned. I just thought because
it's not the reason why, but
it's the reason, but not the reason, because they weren't. I mean, because they were like 4 and 7 resigned. So I was like, oh, they're just ass. So it's like he just stepped down or whatever. But and then also a question. I know Toby kind of like explained his thoughts on it, but kind of like I want to hear from both of you. Like when you're in those positions of power, and you know stuff like that's going on in your organization at prestigious, like USA is prestigious, obviously. Penn State was prestigious at the time. Michigan State's prestigious place. Do you think the upholding the brand is more important to these people, or doing the right thing when it comes to
upholding the brand and keeping
their
jobs?
The bottom line is what's most important, sadly, and it shouldn't be that way, because you got people that have gone through a traumatic experience that's going to affect them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, no.
And why would you want the stipulation that your university or your gymnastics team program is one that has 700 sexual assault victims by one person?
which is crazy.
And
you know what I mean?
It's not even just that. I mean, you also got to think about it. It's like it's more so also it keeps the money in the pocket if you uphold the brand. I mean, look at the Washington football team. Yep. All the shit that they did. You know what I mean? Not for nothing, my own personal opinion is that Alex Smith should sue the fuck out of the Washington football team. You know what I mean? Just my own independent thoughts. But it's like you had all that shit going on, and now look all the small stuff that came out with John Gruden. You know what I mean? And that's with John Gruden. Now imagine all the other shit that's being said.
Well, and that's the whole point about that whole story. Yeah, is they're saying that there's more than just John Gruden.
Yeah, and that's my thing. The thing is, they're not going to bring out all those emails. Nah. That's why they settle with Cap, because upholding the brand of the NFL is more important than saying, "Oh yeah, Colin Kaepernick is being this," or John Gruden losing his job, or Alex Smith damn near losing his leg because of an ego issue. You know what I mean? And it's like, for me, it's like, even going back to this situation, going back to your question, it's like, at the end of the day, if a couple kids, God forbid, trigger warning, a couple kids get touched or a couple kids get sexual harassed, if it brings money into the organization, it brings money into my pocket. And me being the president of operations at say Penn State or Michigan State or the USA Gymnastics Team, as long as it brings the money in my pocket and the brand still looks nice and we still get these endorsement deals, and I can still fly first class and everybody else is cool, I don't give a shit. If a couple kids get touched, they get touched. That's their mentality, bro.
That's cool. It's for fucked now, up. But once shit hits the fan, because it's always going to hit the fan eventually, a dude like Joe Paterno's legacy over the past 40, 50 years is tarnished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a dub. And what happened after that shit happened, bro? He fucking died.
Yeah.
He literally died, bro. Within like 3 months of that shit happening, he was gone. So something like that tarnishes your legacy. People don't forget shit like that, bro.
They don't.
People will never forget that shit. That shit will always hang over Penn State's head for a situation like that. Paying players at the time, whatever, is one thing. But to have kids being sexually assaulted, children.
They were children.
Children.
Yeah. The gymnastics, they're usually like 14.
They're still kids and stuff, but these are like children. And then you find, Sandusky had a house that was behind the elementary school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's disturbing.
It's just disturbing. An understatement, bro.
That's just, I know. That's a wicked person.
I know.
Like I said, it's just, as long as the brand is upkept, as long as the money is coming in, they still making their bread, they still look good, they can still shake hands with everybody. Everything good money for them, man. Pun intended. Like, everything is good money. So it's just like, I'm not happy they settled, and I'm not happy that, like, they got the money or whatever, but it's like, I'm happy that the acknowledgement of something that happened to them was acknowledged, if what I'm saying makes sense. It's less about the fact of the money. I don't care about the settlement. I'm happy that in that situation, there was an acknowledgement that, some shit happened to y'all, and that's what matters the most. I could give a fuck about $400 million.
Facts.
Like,
I know, and it's like, that's not even like, that's a big ticket, yo. We talk about $500 million. Do you realize how much bread that is?
It's a lot of bread.
That's a lot of fucking money, bro, to be shoveling out for anything.
And
$500 million, half a billion.
And Larry Nassar, what happened to him?
He's in jail for 100 years.
He got like 300 years.
Okay. Good.
Yo, where they need to send him, Toby?
The Gulag.
Yeah, bro. He got like 300 years, bro.
That's what the fuck he get, dumbass nigga.
And he's like, he probably in PC. He got to be in PC.
Nah, yeah. Take him out, bro.
Take him out.
He got to be in PC.
I don't give a fuck about.
He could survive in population, bro.
Good. He needs to be in population. There's certain, and that's the thing that I be hating. These people be doing shit that be morally incorrect, and y'all morally shun these people, and then y'all put them in jail and protect them. Nah, nigga.
I don't get
Feed
that.
them to the wolves, nigga. Feed them to the wolves.
Facts.
Feed them to the
they
fucking
figure,
wolves.
You make them suffer more in the box than
No,
them getting killed by the population could be easy.
They would just be on hold my pocket, walk around. You know what I'm saying? You do whatever I say. That's to get punched on every day. That's probably what happened if they in Gen Pop. But speaking of holding a brand, attorney Ben Crump posted a video of Judge Michelle Audinet, I think I just pronounced her name, Audinet, of Lafayette, Louisiana, using racial slurs in a video. I'm going to play the audio, and then I want y'all to react, because we all saw the video. I'm going to play the audio for the listeners just so they can get context. And I just want to hear everybody's thoughts. So I'm going to play the video real quick. Oops, that's the wrong audio. Let's play it real quick.
The song goes, why are the lights when I pull up in the whip, they be saying, God damn.
Why are your lights on? They're like, pull up, pull up. and mom's yelling, nigger! Nigger!
Oh, Henry, have a nigger! It's a nigger! Like a roach.
Look, that's me. No, that's I came from the backside.
Look, he trips over the
He tripped twice. He tripped twice.
I was the only one running.
That's me. Kenny was standing. I'm the one that took him down. Kenny's just standing there.
He lied.
So that's the general audio. And for those, obviously, that are listening, the video showed, I guess they were addressing somebody that came on their property or something of that nature. And you can hear the judge, you can hear her saying, get the nigger, he looks like a roach, all this stuff, calling all these racial slurs. So when you guys saw that video, what were your thoughts? Like, are you
another one?
You want to start shaking?
Another one bites the dust. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this: since it's in Louisiana, do you think anything's gonna happen to her? Do you think she's gonna get removed from the bench? Anything like that, or you think she's gonna?
Bro, you got. All right, so what you gotta understand. What you gotta understand is that a lot of these people, they already have this mindset, and I think we talked about this a couple of weeks. Like, that bias is built in. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, is it a possibility if that video goes viral, if that ends up on CNN, MSNBC, or something like that? It's possible that she could. It did?
Yeah.
Oh, it did? Oh, yeah. Then it's a possibility that she may or may not get disbarred, or she may get her license suspended, her license suspended. She may have to step down as a judge. But she'll find another place. Like, just give it a couple of months, probably a year or two. She'll get her bar license back. And she'll probably be able to practice somewhere. Like, this is a regular thing for them.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, they talk like this all the time. It's just, you really got to think, and this is what I was saying a couple weeks ago, this bias has been built in for years, for centuries. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, now, all this is just, okay, you're just revealing the bias and the shit that you talk about behind closed doors. When we talk about Donald Trump, the locker room talk, this is the locker room talk for a lot of these white people, a lot of these white judges that sentence the black kids or the minority people for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like, I don't know if you heard the story. His name is Roel Aguero, I believe his name is.
Tell me about it.
He I'm just throwing this out as an example. He basically was going 80 in a 45, and he was driving a truck, and he had lumber.
Oh, talking about the boy that just got sentenced to
yeah. He hit a truck. He hit another truck. He hit another semi. The whole thing exploded, caused all this explosions, all that stuff. What did they send him to? Like 110
they
years?
gave him 4 life sentences.
Yeah, they gave him 4 life sentences. You know what I'm saying? Granted, yes, he was negligent. He was acting reckless. Wow. But the funny thing is, in that same case, like a couple years back, there was another guy. He was driving reckless, and he was drunk, and he was speeding. And he wasn't driving a semi or whatever, but he drove reckless, and he killed people. He didn't even get that. He got probation. And then the judge said to the guy, he's Cuban too. He's Cuban American. He's Cuban. He's from Cuba, not Cuban American. But they were saying, like, I wanted to see if I could give him a lower sentence. I'm paraphrasing, but I just didn't feel like there was any way that I could. And for me, it's like, the way I look at it is that, like, yo, granted, was he being reckless? Yes, but to give him 4 life sentences is wild, especially because he was doing his job, right? In addition to that, bringing back to this is like, now just think about all these white judges that talk like that, and now they have to give a sentence to a boy who may have been acting, I won't even say reckless, but, you know, a white cop saw him and they probably thought of him being suspicious. Or let's go to New York. Why can't I think of their names? They just made the movie about him like 2-3 years ago. Central Park 5. Central Park, yeah. Yeah, so you go to the case where it's like the Central Park 5, and you have that kind of situation, and these judges or these police officers set you up, and now you're getting sentenced to jail for life. You know what I mean? It's like, when we look at these situations, it becomes, what's annoying about it is that we know these biases are here, but you can't do anything because it's like these things have been engraved in people's heads. Now, this woman is talking like this, and she can go there and see a black boy and sentence him to 15 for life, and then the white boy gets probation for 6 months for the same exact thing.
It just happened to be on camera, but she happened to be on camera saying it. That's all. It's nothing new for her.
It's not
at all. She said it with confidence, all that stuff, bro. Which is, it's not. I'm gonna stop saying stuff's crazy because it's not crazy.
Nah, that shit don't surprise me, bro.
Like,
and like I said, another one bites the dust, man.
I'm not surprised.
She's the most recent one to get caught on camera saying it.
I'm not surprised. Like I said, they'll probably suspend her license, right? They'll suspend her license, her bar license, but give her a couple months, maybe a year or two. She'll get her bar license back. Will she be a judge again? I don't know.
How long does it take to get your
That all depends. That all depends on where it is, what they do, how long they suspend it for.
Okay.
Can they suspend it permanently?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How does that happen? What do you have to do to get suspended?
Something extreme, like something really extreme. I don't know off the top of my head, but there are super extreme ways for you to lose your bar license. So
okay.
Got you. Okay, let's jump into the Face of the Future song of the day, presented by NBT. If you're listening to us or you watch us, follow us on NBT Network. If you watch us on YouTube, hit that big red subscribe button and leave a comment, leave a review, and share it with all your listeners to join the community. The Face of the Future song of the day is presented from Toby, from his guy, Jack James.
it's my guy, man.
UK boy. This is a real UK boy from the ends.
Yes.
Loving the club. Once again, Jack James, Loving the Club. Once again, that was Jack James, Loving the Club.
Y'all fucked with that?
That was
Yeah,
a vibe.
that was nice.
Jack James he dropping his debut album next year, and that thing is going to be a banger, son. But
I believe it.
he's like
Those.
that.
I love those type of vibes. You feel me?
He's a vibe, bro. He's a
It made me
vibe.
feel good. Made me want to dance a little bit.
All right, so let me ask y'all a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think it is for young professionals to be good at networking?
11.
Yeah, 11, 12.
What are some skills to good networking? What are some key contributors to being someone that's good at networking?
You gotta first you gotta know the person that first you have to understand your goals, and you have to see if your goals align with the person that you want to network with. You also have to learn how to have a good conversation.
People skills.
Yeah, if you don't know how to have a good conversation, side note, this is me being petty. This is why I don't think all OnlyFans girls are sex workers, because they don't understand being people pleasers. But
How did we
How do we get to OnlyFans?
Wait, no.
I'm talking about I'm talking about building up your professional network, and you go to OnlyFans for your analogy.
Because sex workers.
You can't come up with a different analogy.
But it's important. I'm saying this as an example to say. I'm being petty. No, but I'm saying this because as a sex worker, you also have to learn a certain amount of people skills to make people feel comfortable to open themselves up.
They gotta know how to play the game.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with networking. As a young professional, outside of sex work, you're still a professional. You have to learn certain people. It's like Millz is a conversationalist. So Millz, it's easy for him to bring certain things out of people. Shannon, you're kind of more of a laid back person. So when you talk about the right things, if they know you well enough, they'll bring it out of you. And the thing is, number one thing is, once you start bringing things out of people and you let them talk, once you let that person talk about what they're passionate about, you got them.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
That's it.
I was about to say when it comes to networking, yes, you have to know like what your goals are and things of that nature. But one, you can't be afraid to have initial conversation. And then, like Moose just said, when you have conversation, and a lot of people don't understand, you have to be. The best networkers are great listeners. You feel me? Like he was just saying, like if you sit there and have your initial small talk conversation and you pinpoint what they're passionate about, and you maybe pop a question to them and then let them just ramble. And then they might not be able to help you out right then and there, but you know what they're passionate about, what they're good at, that type of thing down the road, down the line. You have that relationship.
Yeah.
You can go back to it. There's plenty of people now that like I haven't talked to necessarily in a few years, but our paths kind of like recrossed because what they're doing now and based on the relationship we had in the past and just being good to a person, that's what a lot of people don't realize also. You got to be good to whoever you come across. And my mom always said, treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO, because that janitor one day could be the CEO of the company or whatever they're doing. And you never know. People could just be down at that moment or whatever, and then like 2 years later, a year later, they could be up where that, and now they'll remember how you treated them. You feel me? It doesn't matter. And my coach Sims always said this too, from a sports reference. He said, it doesn't matter how many touchdowns you scored, how many tackles you made, whatever. It's people always remember the impact that you made on them from the first time they met you.
Yep.
First impression is the last impression. So it's like, just one, networking, be good to people, be honest to people, and just be good listeners, bro. Yeah. And then you gotta know how to move and shake, bro. You gotta know how to talk.
Stay ready is the whole point that I was thinking about when I was thinking about that question, because I'm on like this networking Zoom call across a bunch of different like healthcare like organizations. Like we have a meeting. There's a meeting like every other Monday, right? I never really had the chance to go to it. This Monday, I just so happened to have the chance to go to it. It's run by someone who's like a mentor for me, so to say. Like it's helped me like it's really like put me onto a lot of people in the industry that I work in the healthcare and senior care industry, and really like helped me find my new job, and like all this like has been like a reference for me and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I get on this Zoom call with her for the first time in like 3 months, and somebody on there talking about brain injuries and concussions, right? So like I'm listening to the conversation for like 20 minutes. Then somebody asked a question about football. So the person that runs the meeting stops. She's like, hold on. She's like, hold on. Shannon, can you chime in? So I was able to chime in for like 20 minutes in this call, give my spiel about my personal situation with concussions, and then like the referee side of it. So after the conversation is over, you know how you can like direct message somebody in the chat on the Zoom. The lady who was giving the presentation, who runs this company, was like, you know, I want you to come speak on my panel at my next seminar. So it's like you really just gotta, you really just gotta stay ready, because you never know. Here it is, a regular ass Monday. Like I'm never able to get on this call. I just so happen to get on it, and then I just so happen to connect with this lady who wants me to come speak on her panel.
Round of applause for that one. Round of applause.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so my message to that is just stay ready, bro. Yeah. If you prepared, you know you always ready.
And
you know what I mean?
I think that's the biggest thing, and it's like that's one of the things that I've learned. It's like you either talk about what you're passionate about and what you know about, and also give everybody the ability to speak. Because like one of the things that I notice is that when you give everybody the ability to speak, and then when you do go, it makes everybody else feel heard. You know what I mean? So even if you are networking with somebody, you know, you just lean, you know, you just let them talk about their story, let them talk about their passions, highs, lows. Then you say your own piece and you add on to things. What ends up happening there is that's where the connection comes in, because everybody at the end of the day, whether if it's in romantic relationships, friendships, all that, they want to feel heard. And I think that's the biggest thing about networking. When you're networking with somebody, it's basically a connection. You're providing a connection. To be really weird about this, I was doing a short film like 5-6 years ago, and that was the whole initial conversation. That was the whole point of the film, and it was based off of a film about connecting to the Wi-Fi. And he comes in looking for the Wi-Fi. He's disconnected. He walks into an Alcohol Anonymous meeting. So now he's looking for the Wi-Fi, but he's not really paying attention to where he's at. He just ends up being in an Alcohol Anonymous meeting. Obviously, you have a problem. But the ironic thing is that when everybody's in there, everybody's looking at him as like, okay, this nigga acting weird because you come into an alcohol AA meeting for some damn Wi-Fi. Right. And you know, normally when you go into an AA meeting, all them motherfuckers got the problem. But you being looked at as you have a problem. And what happens is that ultimately when you just sit down and you observe and you listen, you understand that you also have a problem. Or you also may have something in interest or something that may contribute to it. So ironically, he ends up connecting to the Wi-Fi, but he also connects to everyone else, which ultimately provides a connection for people. And the point is of why I said that is like when you're passionate about something and when you have certain things that you do talk about and you sit down, you observe people, that's how the connection comes in. And that's how network ultimately comes in, you know? And I think that's great. And it's great to you, Shannon. Congratulations. And I think that's really, really great that it's happened to you.
Y'all know I love that shit. So I'm into the conversation. I'm like giving all this body language. I think people can feel that energy.
Oh yeah. Every time you talk about that stuff, that's your path. We can tell.
People feel that energy.
And when is the panel?
We still working on it. Like I just started talking. This just happened Monday, so I just started like talking over them with like the details. But like I know you've done shit like that before. I never done nothing like that before.
No, it's fun. That stuff's like you
know what I'm saying. So I'm looking forward to, especially with it being about that. But like back to what you said about like you got to be a good person first and foremost, because you know this person that I said I was on a Zoom call with. I'm not afraid to say her name's Randy. She's like a plug in this like. You know, you never know who's going to connect you with who.
Exactly.
Like as soon as the conversation was over, I had an emails like, Shannon, this is this person. Here's their email. Here's their everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff is the kind of people you need, and it all comes from being a good person, being responsive. You know, because you can't just leave people just high and dry. You gotta be available.
That's a fact.
You know, the best ability is availability, as they say. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to see how y'all felt about networking, because I feel like a lot of people either don't know how to do it or aren't good at it. You know what I mean? Don't know how to be diligent with their responses, or don't even know how to send a professional email.
Facts. And,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and on top of that too, it's just like I feel like a lot of people too, because I've had this before. We call it like imposter syndrome, things of that nature. Where you feel like maybe you're not worthy enough to ask somebody a question, or you feel like you're asking too many questions. I always tell people all the time, bro, if you don't know something, just ask. Like most of the time, people will be more than willing to give you the answer for it. You know what I'm saying? More times than not. And I was gonna say when you're talking about networking, always, bro, that's how I got through college, bro, with my professors, bro. And like you said, like you guys both said about just talking to people about things they're interested in, bro. I used to have simple conversations at the end of like classes about, even if I didn't give two shits about what was going on in class, I would ask certain questions to the professor just to show I had interest, and they would just spark their brain and have a long conversation. So when it came time, maybe I was struggling in the class or whatever, they'll remember you because you have those conversations. Or if you went to like a tutoring session or whatever it is, and say you're on that borderline of like a C or B or D or C, and you're trying to pass the class, they're more than likely gonna bump you up.
Yep.
And that's something that, like I said, I just learned from my coaches too. They used to tell me all the time. I learned that in Jvck, bro. Jvck taught me a lot of stuff. Right. But my coaches told us, it's like, bro, just as much like professors don't want to hear you talk about football all the time. They want to talk about the stuff that they're interested in. Right. Like, your math teacher loves math, so have a conversation with math, even if it's like 5 minutes. Show that you care about what they're teaching you, because a lot of the times like that just goes by the wayside. People come in and out, they don't even engage with them, and they're just doing their job, that type of thing. But when you do that, people be more than willing to help you out when you need help or assistance. So,
and like Toby said, you know, one thing I do, because I used to do outside marketing for the company I used to work for previously, and I still do marketing now. So it's like you always have to try and find that personal connection. And once you find it and you ask a person about it, they can just, like you said, Millz, go on for like 10, 20 minutes. They're never going to forget that you asked about something that they like. And then the next time you see them, you ask, so how's such and such going? People are never going to forget that kind of shit in their mind. They're always going to remember you. So I just got to think about it because, you know, you said, you know, you had your meeting that's not going to happen today, and which is, you know, another networking thing. So that just sparked my mind and made me.
It's a good question, though.
That's what happens when, on a similar note, it's like when people talk about anime, like, okay, what kind of anime you watch? Do you watch Naruto, my nigga? Do you watch Dragon Ball Z, or are you really into shits like
what's your show? One Piece?
Yeah, the One Piece, the greatest show ever created.
I love One Piece.
Bro,
you make me want to jump into One Piece.
If you watch One Piece and you give me something to watch or read, I'll give it to you. If you watch or you read the first 100 chapters in One Piece, give me something. I'll bargain with you.
What are your top 2 or 3 animes that, since we're new into the space, say we want to jump in and watch some anime, what would be your top 2 or 3 that we should dive into?
Ronnie love anime too.
So
who does?
Ronnie.
Oh yeah.
If you gonna watch it, I'm not gonna put y'all on to like the typical like shonen buff nigga shit. I'm gonna put you on my favorite anime of all time. Top 5 is Code Geass. It's a sci-fi anime. Basically what happened. It's basically about what happened after World War II. Basically, World War II happened. USA lost World War II. The United Kingdom. No, it was after World War I. The UK took over the US. And they took over Japan, and they basically enslaved Japan. Basically, now they turned Japan into, it's basically called Area 11. And afterwards, they basically just enslave the Japanese, and they treat the whole place just like a shit town. And there's like a whole bunch of other shit that goes in there. It's a real, like, when I say it's top 5 and it's only 52 episodes, it's like top 5. It's an extreme. You can binge that, and it's 30 minutes. Okay. That Great Teacher Onizuka, that shit is old, but it's really good. Very simple, straightforward. It's basically about a guy who used to be in a gang. He wants to be the greatest teacher in Japan. What else? Yu Yu Hakusho, which is the original. Which is the original. Basically, it's about a boy who used to be a degenerate. Basically, gets hit by a car. He dies, and he gets a second chance of life. And he's a spirit detective. And he basically gets a second chance of life, and he basically has to fight a bunch of spirits, demons, stuff like that. What is that? 3? Obviously One Piece, because One Piece is. What's another super short one? Because I had a good list.
You gave me 4, so
yeah, I give you 4. But One Piece is super long. That's the only reason why I don't be recommending it though.
And is there like a site you can watch all these on? Like, is there like a?
Yeah, it depends where. If you want to pay for it, you can go to Crunchyroll or Funimation TV.
That's what's Crunchyroll.
They got bought out by a bigger company, but I watch it on there. But Great Teacher Onizuka and
went to his little nerd back. I like that, bro.
Code Geass. I think if you watch Code Geass, you'll watch it, but oh nah, this shit is different. That shit has the action, the sci-fi, and the story, and it comes from. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, bro.
That's dope. Well,
all right, next.
That question that you said networking is dope, and that anime I'm about to tap into the one that says 52 episodes.
Networking is crucial, I think. To like I said, you said in 11. I think you said it's a 10. So I think. You know, you're not going to be successful as a young professional without knowing somebody that knows somebody. Because, you know how friends you say it's not what you know, who you know? Yes. Like, that shit really is, like, the truth. Facts. Like, you need somebody that can plug you with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact. So, some breaking news that shocked the sports world, the college sports world, happened over this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say, it's safe to say, a lot of people weren't happy. Not a lot of people like us, but a lot of people weren't happy.
Of course.
But so over the past week, it was the first national sign. I think the early signing period for college football and sports in general. And the top ranked player in the class 2022, Travis Hunter, was originally committed to Florida State University, but on signing day, he flipped and signed to Jackson State University, which is led by Deion Sanders, and the sports world went nuts. And on top, to give a little more context, on top of signing that national letter of intent, he signed a $1.5 million NIL deal with Barstool Sports, and
1.5,
and it's just been the talk of the town for the last week since it happened. So.
1.5.
Yeah. So the landscape of college football has definitely changed. When you saw that, did you expect that flip to happen?
No.
Hell no.
But you see, this is in what's so, and what I would love about this now for all my, majority of them are black, but for the black athletes is that a lot of times, how do I say, what's the best word to use? I feel like a lot of bigger schools, obviously like the Big Tens, the SECs, all of them, they obviously pick the best athletes, but I feel like they also pick at their weaknesses. And what I mean by that is like a lot of these kids, like I'll use Rutgers for example, some of these kids that came from the South, they don't have the best situation. They pick them, they go to an organization where they can be stabilized, where they have the food, they have everything else, they have structure where, they can feel safe, right?
Shout out to Rutgers.
Yeah, shout out to Rutgers. But now it's like,
want to come up.
Yeah, no, they definitely want to come. But now, because all these kids can get these deals, it's like I could go to an HBCU, even though they may not give me the most money, it may not be as stabilized as these big organizations. I could be around people that look like me.
Deion.
I can go play for Deion, and I get bread, and I'm stabilized. My family's okay, I could live in an apartment by myself. Everything will be cool. I'm stabilized. I could focus on ball. And now what's going to happen now, why a lot of people aren't happy is because now, in my opinion, obviously a lot of the athletes are minority. One of the biggest selling points, the underlying selling points for a lot of these athletes are going to big organizations was because of stability. You have the best gyms. You have the best structures, facilities. But now, the best path to the NFL. But now, because they're getting this bread, I could hire my own trainer. I could hire all this stuff and do this shit myself and still go to an HBCU and ball out. That's why they're not happy. The intangibles that you get from working at a big or going to a bigger organization, that shit is gone now. Barstool Sports threw $1.5 million at you. You could hire a trainer for probably $50K a year. Off season, you have food out the wazoo for a year. Good money.
He good.
And you learn it from the best. You
learn from the best, and now you gotta worry about nothing. And that's why I think this is so beautiful. These people in these big organizations. I'm sorry, I'm ranting a little bit, but now when you look at it, these big organizations, they have to have better selling points than just saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna provide you stability." Because not for nothing, your third string quarterback can get a deal and he can be okay and transfer out somewhere, go to an HBCU or go somewhere. It's dubs for them now.
They're starting to cut them checks now because I saw yesterday the
dubs for them.
NAL's changing shit because I think it was every lineman at Texas was guaranteed 50 racks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pancake's house.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
50
bro.
racks. Like niggas really started. I mean, when I saw like the endorsement deals that all the Heisman finalists had, like Bryce Young, TJ Stroud, like they got like 5 or 6 NIL deals each.
Yeah.
It's like with big companies like Subway, Jersey Mike's, and like places like that. So I'm like, this shit is really changing things. So when I saw this, I went back to the clip of when Deion was on the podcast with Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Chad Johnson, I'm Athlete, that John. And the one dude, the light-skinned dude, I forget his name, played for the Dogs for a long time.
I know who he's talking about. Yeah.
He played the linebacker.
He was like, I don't think you can compete with the top programs. Like, I just don't think you have the capability to compete. And Deion was like, why can't I?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm recruiting like real players that want to play football and learn how to play football. Like, why would you want to come learn here from the best coach, make some bread, and get guidance from me that can relate to you, speak your language,
been there,
understand your struggle where you come from. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, if you want the glitz and glamour, like I don't want you, but if you want to come play ball and learn, come here and play with me. And now you see like $1.5 million deal. That's going to bring Jvck a lot of publicity. They're gonna get a lot more looks
because he has that deal with Barstool too. Deion does, so it's like
they gonna have, like you said, they're gonna have their own show probably following the team.
They already do.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean, it's good for the HBCUs to bring some eyes on them. For all of the FCS, they got the number one player in the country. That's like never happened before.
Yep.
And it's good for also just for all the other kids as a whole to see, like, you don't have to now go to everybody don't have to go to Alabama or Ohio State. Everybody can, because what I've noticed with this previous like signing period, like the days of like all the best guys going to one school are like done. Like Alabama getting like the top whoever guys is like done. Players are starting to go to more spread out places now with this NIL shit.
I saw like Mizzou had like a top 5 recruiting class, all that type of stuff.
Rutgers got a top 10. Rutgers this year has more 4- and 5-star recruits on this year's class than the last like 7 years combined.
Yeah, because it's like now you got, because like I said, it's now you got to think about it. It's all about what you want to do. If you're not playing football, if you don't want to go to the league, or let's say you're probably not going to the league, right? You may not be good enough to go to the league. You have the bread in your pocket. New York is a 50-minute drive. It's a 30-minute train ride from New Brunswick, and you can plug right from New Brunswick into the city. So my thing is that you gonna have those 4 or 5-star recruits, and obviously because the Pats like to draft a lot from New Brunswick, it's like you have the access and you're making the bread. It's all about, and one of the things is, and that's why I keep saying this whole thing is all about stability. You go to a big organization because there's stability in a system for you to just plug in. But now when you can provide yourself your own stability, these students can do whatever they feel like doing. I have $1.5 million in my pocket from a deal. You can't tell me shit. You can't.
That's from one deal, one year. Like some of these kids are going to graduate college with $15, $20 million in the bank.
And no debt.
You know what I'm saying?
No debt.
$15, $20 million in the bank. Could go to the league or could do whatever they want to do. Like you said, these kids already going into college now. They already have their own brands.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be able to really, really build on that.
I want to pose y'all a question because I put this in the group chat and I got, crucified. And people was like, I wouldn't send my kid to Jackson, all this stuff. On signing day, you're Travis Hunter. You got Bama offer, Florida State offer. They all offered you 4 rides. Are you picking Bama or are you taking the deal that he got?
I'm taking the deal that he got. Because my thing is,
I'd probably take the deal he got too.
Because think about it, it's like you're still getting an education. You're still getting your education. You're going to school for free. That's even you have the option to learn from one of the best whoever did it and where you want to be at your position. And even
I have to think about it.
And even if you don't go to the league, you still just made a deal and you still set. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's a lose-lose situation. I mean, not lose, a win-win situation. You're not really losing in anything. Like at the end of the day, let's say for example, God forbid, he has a career-ending injury. You still have $1.5 million in your pocket.
And then
you know what I mean?
And then on top of that, the days of saying that he's not gonna get enough exposure over, bro.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Exposure's everywhere.
There's exposure everywhere. You got your own TV show.
They've been on ABC 3 times this year and ESPN.
They had 6 ESPN games last year. The exposure thing, the exposure talk nowadays with all these media companies, things of that nature, bro, are done and over. Yeah, basketball may be a little different, but I'm talking about football, bro. Nowadays and what they're doing, and this is a hot take for me. I want to revisit this maybe like 5 years from now when we talk about it. I think Portnoy is up to something. The way they're building the HBCU schools up, where he might take over that shit. Where
so who?
David Portnoy and Barstool.
Oh yeah.
I think what
he's
doing, they're building up JSU, right? They're going to show that Deion and them can do this. They're going to build up these other programs too. And then remember how we talked about having a network for these colleges?
It'll be Barstools.
Barstool might be that.
I
network,
would love that.
Barstool might be that network because you see they're doing their own college game day, all that stuff. So it's like they might start a partnership with the HBC, with the SWAC conference, and publicize them more because Grambling just signed Hugh Jackson as their head coach. I think the other schools going to start.
Eddie George is coach at Eastern Tennessee. One of them HBCUs in Tennessee.
That's what I'm trying to say. So they're bro. It's starting, bro. It's that upward trend is happening, bro.
That makes me happy.
And all these kids, and Deion, like yes, he got Travis Hunter, the top recruit. But look at the rest of the recruiting guys. He has other 4-star, 3-star, 5-star guys that are already committed to a school that transfer in from like the Georgias, things of that nature. And they're just dominating, bro. And you get all these other schools to be up to the par that Jackson State is, bro. It's gonna be like it was back in the 80s and 70s because people forget. People our age don't realize that before the Bamas and all this stuff were good. They weren't competing with the Gramblings and things of that nature. Grambling them was running these schools,
Alcorn
bro.
State, Steve McNair,
Like they
Michael Strahan.
They was cooking them, and it wasn't till these SEC schools like Bama, here, we'll pay you a little cash to come.
It's when the TV deals started to go.
That's
crazy.
what I'm trying to say. When they got that bread, bro. Yeah. But now that the playing fields are even, like when Dabo Swinney's like, oh, it's changing the course or whatever. Nah, you just mad because their program is falling apart.
I love it.
Their program is falling apart at Clemson. His DC left, his OC left. Like now we gonna see what you really got, Dabo.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm.
Now
we
gonna see what you really got.
It's like the playing fields even. I'm not even. Give Deion maybe not this year, but next year. After it will be his third, fourth year.
Already 11-1 this year.
But he's gonna schedule them FBS schools.
Yeah, he has. That's what I was gonna say.
Schedule them FBS schools. He's gonna play them of Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna play them schools. He'll be like, look, we can compete with y'all. Now what? Now what? All that talk about we not this, we not that. And watch when they start beating these schools the same way North Dakota State was back in. These schools don't want to play them.
Yeah, they're gonna, and then they're probably gonna, hopefully, they can move. Maybe if they move out of the SWAC
or move the SWAC up to make them an FBS.
Yeah, or
conference.
or even move to like the Sun Belt or something like that. That'd be crazy to have an
yeah.
in that. But it's definitely all about as a kid, you know where you want to go.
Yeah,
you know what's the best fit for you as far as where you're getting recruited at and whatever. And he probably just had a different connection with Deion. Like for me, if it was Jackson and Deion, or obviously Ohio State, I mean, where I'm going because of where my heart is personally. Yeah. So I mean, it's all just about what you're looking for. If your goal is to play in the SEC, Deion's deal might not really matter to you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It might be enticing, but it just might not matter because you want to play in the SEC. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about you know where you want to go at the end of the day.
I think we say this in hindsight. We say this, but I think at 18 years old, if Deion Sanders comes into your living room,
he probably that's what I'm saying. He touched him.
He's sitting there talking. He's talking to Mook. He's talking to Gil. You know what I'm saying?
He probably reached him.
And he's like, look, come play for Prime, and I got this 1.5 check sitting for you.
Yeah.
1.5 mil look crazy to an 18-year-old, bro. And people are saying, yeah, Bama probably offered him this. They could have offered the same deal, but obviously it wasn't the best deal, bro, or he would have went to them schools. That's all I've been trying to say.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
But that's just how I feel. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad there's an upward trend and things like this happening. And I just want to continue to see it happen, bro, because I want to see where the HBCUs are back to where they were back in the day, where they just kicking up. A lot of athletes.
That's what I love, man. That's what I love.
And then get to the point where we have those primetime games where the HBCUs are in the primetime
so
playing
happy
against
for
the
them. Yeah, I think they're playing. Aren't they playing this weekend too?
Who?
Jackson State.
Are they? They play. I don't know if it might be next weekend. No, is it after the holiday? No, it might be, you're right. It's probably
they play in the national championship.
Yep.
HBCU national championship.
Yep.
That's what's up, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, man, and also to see they had a bunch of sold out games this past year, things like that.
Yeah, they shit rocking, bro. And they got the bands that's a vibe.
That's what I'm saying. That culture is different, bro.
It's a vibe.
Imagine having a top tier football program. Then you got the bands at halftime. The stars are probably gonna be walking around now at the games. Mm-hmm. But it's just
you got Gilly and them pulling up to y'all locker room.
That shit was funny. Remember Gilly's running the sideline?
You know what I'm saying? Like
hilarious.
Young Dolph was there. RP Young Dolph.
He bringing in people. I mean, look. Say what you want. Deion bringing in people like Brittany Renner to give game to the young bulls. You know what I'm saying? So what?
Nothing. I just
say what you gonna say.
Every time I hear Brittany Renner name, my mind just.
No, I'm just saying. But Deion was I'm trying to
prepare you for
I'm trying to prepare you for what's going to be out there. I respect that.
I respect it. It's just Brittany Renner. It's just
Who better to talk about that though?
Than the person that does it.
Who better to talk about that though?
Then
someone, and not even that. There's someone that she's saying y'all be the type of motherfuckers that be all up in my shit.
Yeah.
In my fucking DMs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I stopped.
You said you stopped
years ago.
Oh, being in the DMs?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you stopped being in her DMs. I'm like, what you talking about? I heard you talking about boob shooting this shit.
No, not now. Like that was when I first found out who Brittany Renner was. Oh my gosh! But then when I started to
on the trumpet, said, I need that Got 2000.
And then I started really
He said that Got 2000.
Then I really started observing the stuff, and then I got into the whole the what's that shit called, the egalitarianism shit, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not fucking with Brittany Renner. She's running some bullshit, but it is what it is. Anyways,
respectfully, some other sports news that happened over this past week. Steph Curry broke the all-time 3-point record.
Ray Allen coming back.
He not coming. Ray Allen looks sick. He broke that.
That nigga was.
That's because he never thought nobody was gonna break it. But I didn't even. Pete James Harden is third on that list.
Really?
Yeah.
He's not gonna catch Steph. Excuse me, but he's third.
How far is he behind?
I think maybe 300 or so.
He can catch him if Steph retired. He played the extra 3-4 years.
If.
Because
I think when it's all said and done, Steph's number is going to be too
Did they
high.
come in the league around the same time, didn't they? Because Steph came in in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, and James Harden came in
like
after 2010. Yeah.
So he might. I don't know. It just
I
depends.
have to see.
It just
I went
depends.
But
down
Steph,
curious,
but the thing is, Steph makes that his game. Like James Harden's game is around fouls.
True.
So it's like Steph made Steph.
yeah, but he's third on that list. Of
No.
three-point
Yeah,
shooting.
no, I'm saying
Or
I'm not.
fourth.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he not, but I'm saying that like I don't think James Harden's gonna catch him because like the 3-point shot is Steph's 2-pointer.
No, I don't think he's gonna catch him out. I'm just saying it's crazy. That
Yeah.
he's also like.
Yeah, no, that's definitely crazy. I just think that it's like Steph made that his 2-point shot. Like the nigga warms up in the bleachers shooting threes. Like that's his game. You know what I mean? So
I got a question for you.
shout out to him.
Since we're on basketball talk, it's the one I put in the group chat, Shann with Dex and all them. Because I was in a whole heated debate with my brothers about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James Harden's fifth.
I'm gonna pose this question to both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I want when he came into the league in current state, is Ben Simmons a superstar?
No.
At his current
Is he
state,
a superstar? No.
Was he ever a superstar?
No.
he got paid superstar money.
A superstar. That's the going rate for dudes these days, bro. They all
But
get paid.
bro.
They
But
all
he got
get
paid
bag.
the they all get the bag.
You got Duncan Robinson getting $90 million.
Okay, but I mean that was just dumb.
No, you got a bunch of players like that are signing these. Otto Porter, $120 million.
Tobias Harris is not.
Tobias
a superstar.
Harris,
No, he not.
180. You know what I'm saying? Like you got all these dudes that make these crazy amounts of money, bro.
You got that, yeah.
All of them make that.
But he's not
that's the going rate for the league now.
He was
though.
going to be a superstar, but that nigga ain't
Potential,
working on
I'm
his.
saying he never was a superstar in the NBA. He hasn't
Never.
been a
No,
superstar yet.
he was a
No.
star.
Yeah, he was a star.
That's what I said.
Not a superstar.
Bro, that's all I'm trying to say. People gotta realize there's tiers to this.
Yeah.
to
There's
this
a
talk,
star,
bro.
there's
all stars.
all-stars.
There's you can be a celebrity and have superstar status, but that doesn't mean on the court you're a superstar.
You're a star. You're all star.
He's not in the, like I said in the chat to you, that tier of like KD, LeBron, Steph,
Giannis.
Dame Lillard, Giannis. You know the list goes like those guys. Those are the James Harden.
Yeah.
You know those are your superstars. Like
Ben Simmons is an all-star. I'll give him that.
yeah, he's an all-star.
But he's not no superstar.
No.
And that's all I'm saying. There was
And people that say that he should have been an all-star, like Julian, you're wrong, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah.
His numbers were what they were, and if you watch him play on the court, what he did at that point in time, as far as just being out there making plays, scoring when he has to, and locking down, he definitely was worthy of being an all-star.
Yeah.
but not a superstar.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. And then I got like an argument saying, well, to the Sixers, he's a superstar. No, he's just an all-star. He's a valuable piece.
Yeah, he's a piece that they need.
But what you about to say?
None. Finish your thought. I was gonna.
No, I finished. My thoughts finished.
I was gonna say, y'all think he going to the Lakers?
Nah, Lakers? Nah. I don't think he's going to the Lakers.
I hope not, for his
Like,
own sake.
Yeah, I think
For
If he
their
go to the
sake.
Lakers,
For their sake.
if
For
he go to
Bron's
the
sake.
Lakers, bro.
If anything, the Sixers going to send him to somewhere where there's no publicity.
I don't know where they're going to send him, bro.
Send him to New Orleans.
Because that's what I was
For
thinking. They're
what?
like,
For who?
Ju-
For B.I.?
yes, bro.
I would love that.
Yes.
bro, I was just thinking that, son.
I would love that.
I was thinking that
I
earlier,
saw,
son.
I saw that in
that.
the media, bro. I saw that in the media. They said the Sixers, if Sixers want to contend for a championship, they need to get Brandon Ingram.
I would love that move. I would love that.
Because I was thinking about it. I thought that was a great move too. The
I
only
would
reason why I
love
brought,
that.
the only reason why I
I'm
brought
okay
up the
with that.
Lakers, the only reason why I brought up the Lakers situation, because I'm trying to figure out who running what the offense should look like. Because it's like my whole thing is that you're sacrificed.
They just signed IT.
They have
I mean,
no
yeah, that's
identity
good.
on offense.
Huh?
They have no identity on offense.
That's my thing. I was gonna say like y'all don't have any shooters really. Y'all just have a bunch of old men
They're
who
playing
play
pick a basketball in
yeah.
LA right now.
And it's like you're just nice enough to do it. You know what I mean? And it's just like
AD has no dog in
And
him.
I got another question about superstars.
AD pussy, bro. AD pussy. But that's
So
all.
who should be on the chopping block, Russ or AD?
AD.
No, I don't think AD. I think AD's too talented. I probably Russ. Probably Russ will go. before
Russ is
AD
gonna
does.
get it because it's Russ. But if you want to be honest, it has to be AD.
I give AD a lot more blame because he's supposed to be that guy.
That's why I'm saying that.
He's supposed to be that guy for them. So he definitely
That's why I'm saying
he
that.
has to take a lot of shit for
I
it.
think he's complacent.
But I don't think that. I think they will trade Russ before they trade AD.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But
Yeah.
I'm saying if you really had to be honest, AD should go because AD been playing pussy.
Yeah.
He been playing pussy.
I mean,
stay
it was
healthy.
telltale sign when they played the Bucks and Giannis went right at him.
yeah, and he just
Yeah, and he just wasn't talking shit back to him or nothing. Just kind of just let it rock. You know?
nah.
I'll be
he
damned.
pussy right now. Nah.
And then my other question was this: Can you be a superstar in the leagues coming out and not be a superstar anymore? Like, would you consider Carmelo Anthony a superstar in NBA right now?
He's not a superstar anymore.
He's not as a superstar talent, but
he's not a superstar
but
anymore.
the name is a superstar.
he's a celebrity.
But he's already etched in stone, established. Like you know what he was already.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a future Hall of Famer.
Without a doubt.
We all know that.
So are you asking? Can you name? Because I'm thinking about it as Melo is still a superstar name. You know what I'm saying? But like he's not a superstar talent anymore. If what you're saying is that what you're trying to add? Yeah.
My brother he's arguing that is part of superstar, having the name recognition. That means you are a superstar.
But then what happens when you're at your prime? Because it's like we wouldn't like right now as it's constructed, I wouldn't consider Vince Carter a superstar. I mean, he's retired, but it's like you wouldn't consider Vince Carter a superstar. You get what I'm saying?
He says the namesake.
Yeah.
What about Chris Paul?
I mean, but Chris Paul's still balling.
Chris Paul's still there.
Superstar?
He's. I mean, his play says so.
Yeah.
His play says so.
Nice.
His play says so.
I'm throwing it out there to see what y'all think.
Yeah, because I mean, they went on that run.
I'm trying to think of other guys that are of that Melo stature and age, but it's really just like them two that are left.
It's Melo, Chris Paul.
So what about a guy like DeMar DeRozan? Who's
No.
a multi-time all-star.
No.
He's an all-star. He's an all-star.
Next.
Never was a superstar. What about Jimmy Butler?
No.
Jimmy Butler.
Is he a superstar?
No. No.
He's on that.
No.
He's in that
right
tier
now,
below.
He's the right below.
He's a star. He's a star.
He's not a
He's a
superstar.
star.
He's a star. I'm
He's a
trying
star.
to think. Of some other guys around the league.
He was a superstar on the Sixers. But
yeah, he was.
now,
Is Joel Embiid in that superstar status yet?
almost.
He's the star.
He's
right there.
He's right there.
He's right there, bro. He's right there.
That nigga the truth,
if
bro.
he's not in that category right now, in that 10-player category,
And
he's not.
what's
He's
scary-
definitely
He's
he's up there.
he's
Yeah,
on the
If
line.
he gets
He's on the line.
if he works on his leadership a little bit more, I
He's gonna
think
stay healthy. What about Luka?
I was about to say,
Luka not there yet.
Is he a superstar?
He has a superstar name.
Luka might be a superstar.
Because, all right, you got to put superstar like this. All right, when it comes to superstars, I think you got to look at a couple things. Obviously, the play on the court,
Mm-hmm.
how you change the trajectory of an organization,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it comes to like the ticket sales, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I think Luka fills all those boxes.
He does check all the boxes. So is
And
he a superstar?
Because he's
He's
global.
international. Yeah, he's
So
global.
I would say so. I would say
Okay.
so. Just based on those.
Okay.
'Cause his game speaks for itself. He's changed the trajectory of an organization. He brought them back to being relevant. You know what I'm saying? Because they had a little patch like when Dirk retired, that type of thing. And then his ticket sales, I mean, his jersey sales, all that stuff are probably through the roofs internationally. Like,
I have two more.
what's up?
Jokic,
No,
the Joker,
no,
I don't think so, not yet.
Donovan Mitchell.
no.
No.
Next, stop.